welcome to another episode of Apex Legends Deep Dive, and today's legend is Mirage.
I didn't get here alone. I defeated a lot of people to get here.
On today's episode, we will be looking at all the perks and details for Mirage and how to use them while in match and how each one can benefit you as well. Before we begin, I would just like to say, if you're here watching this video, I really appreciate you stopping by and taking the time in your day to check it out. If you would like, hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with all my content, and leave a like on the video if you're enjoying this series of Apex Legends Deep Dive. Enjoy. All right, so Mirage also falls into the support class range. As of not too long ago, I believe he was in the skirmisher class though in a previous season. So, you know, until now, he's kind of been just moved around a little bit since the class ranges have been introduced. Just a quick reminder though, for any new player out there, support class legends have the ability to open up hidden compartments from supply bins on the map, which all these bins can give you high tier heal items such as batteries, med kits, phoenix kits, etc., or they can also drop them backpacks as well. Also, all support legends can craft banners for their fallen teammates, even if the support legend is alive or dead. So even if you go down, your teammates still have the opportunity to craft banners for everyone. Okay, so Mirage has been in a difficult position, I believe, for a long time. You know, obviously the idea with him is to just trick your opponent. He's called the trickster. And, you know, unfortunately, during the earlier days of Apex, he was not a great legend to use. He was always just a fun character to use, you know, just to, you know, be able to trick your opponent and watch them shoot the hologram while you shoot them. You know, obviously Mirage is fun for that. But as the game progressed, people started to learn the tricks and they became predictable and noticeable. So obviously, even until now to today, you could probably, if you pay attention hard enough, you can kind of figure out which one is, you know, the real one and which one is not. But you know, there is sometimes in the middle of a fight, you don't have the time to think of all that. So that's kind of where he becomes a little bit more viable in that situation. But as season came along, Respawn did many readjustments to Mirage and how he could trick people and try to make him a little bit more viable, right? And some of the things that they did was they gave him the ability to control the decoy. Now, this was a great addition, I think, for him, in my opinion. You know, once this happened, you know, they slowly started to migrate him into a support class. You know, they also gave him the ability to revive while invisible, for example. So you can go to these beacons, you can go to the respawn beacons being invisible, you can res invisible, you know, certain things they started adding. You know, I think that was another great addition they did for him as well. But just in general, I think playing Mirage is just a fun character to use because it is, like I said, it is fun to see your enemy think twice which one is the one, which one's the real one and which one is not. So it is funny. It is fun to see for sure. Ultimately though, I think that having Mirage in the support class is a great spot for him to be in, even though, you know, even now he's still in the mid-range area for the pick list. Again, you know, I just believe these perks are just another great addition for his fun abilities that he currently has right now. All right, let's do an introduction to Mirage's abilities. Mirage has a passive called Now You See Me. This passive allows you to automatically cloak when using respawn beacons and reviving teammates. So this is what I mentioned earlier, is, you know, one of the great additions that they did was giving him that ability to do that. Also spawn a decoy to cloak yourself when you're down. So when you're down, you automatically spawn a clone and you turn invisible automatically. So it's supposed to kind of give that impression that, you know, where do you go, right? So, but I think this passive is great for any Mirage player as it gives you a great opportunity to revive teammates in a tight situation. So, you know, especially reviving teammates, because, you know, you got to remember that you turn invisible to res them, and then they also have 3 seconds. Once they get res, they also turn invisible as well. As long as they don't pull their weapon out, they stay invisible for 3 seconds. So another great addition that they added later on, that was another thing that they added as well, giving the teammates the invisibility as well for 3 seconds, giving you that chance to get out of danger. Also, when you're down, when Mirage is down, he turns invisible, like I mentioned before. There is a range where if someone gets close enough, the emitters that he has to turn invisible will be shown. So I think the range is around 5, maybe 6 meters or so. So it's a pretty small radius. So once an enemy gets near, they'll find you and they'll be able to see you. This tactical is called Psych Out. This tactical allows you to send a holographic decoy to confuse the enemy. Also remember that this decoy can be controlled. This tactical is a great tool to confuse your opponent if they're not paying attention. So just keep in mind that this decoy also has footsteps and sounds like a player walking. So don't let this trick you when you're going up against Mirages, right? It is hard to figure out sometimes. You kind of have to really just pay attention a little bit. When you deploy this decoy, it will replicate the movement you were doing before you deploy deployed it. So if you were walking, it will walk. If you were running, the decoy will run, etc. If you were crouching, it'll crouch, etc., etc. But if you want, you can control it, and this will allow the decoy to mimic all the movements you're doing at the moment, right? So if you throw your decoy and you start walking and then you put it to control, it will walk in front of you, behind you, wherever you place it, it will run with you as you're running as well, etc., etc. Right? So good thing that they added that as well. Again, like I mentioned, the control of the decoy was a great addition they did. The decoys have 45 HP, and if they're shot, the enemy who shot them is marked for about 3 seconds. Now, Mirage has the fastest cooldowns for these tacticals at around 15 seconds. So always have your decoy out. Since you have a quick cooldown, you can just keep spamming them as much as you want. They could also help you find enemies in certain areas. You know, you could throw a decoy, let it go, someone shoots it, and you know, it will give you the idea like, oh, okay, well, there's people over there, right? So kind of use it like that. His ultimate is called Life of the Party. This allows you to deploy a team of decoys to distract your enemies. When you activate this, it will activate 5 decoys, each one being controllable as well. So you can choose to control them or not, but obviously if you control them, it's a lot more crazy. You do turn invisible when you throw this for about a second when you deploy it. So it is recommended to use and try to change the direction of the way you threw it to confuse your opponent. So for example, if you're pushing and you throw it and they know that you're already going, let's just say north, obviously go south. When you throw it, turn around, and then the decoys will throw them out. The decoys will confuse them because they won't know which one is the real one. The cooldown for this is 1 minute. Let's take a look at level 2 upgrades for Mirage. Option 1, Miracle Worker. Allies are revived with health regen up to 75 HP. So this perk allows you to revive your teammates and give them health regen when they're revived. I think this perk goes great with Mirage, since when you revive your teammates, they are also invisible for 3 seconds, giving you that small window to escape and reset with your team when they get in a fight. Now, in my opinion, I think the speed of the regen is a little slow for me, but as long as you can get the revive off and get to a safe spot, then it is definitely helpful for sure. You can also combine this with a syringe to make it heal faster. I suppose they gave them this regen instead of the instant because then it would probably a little bit broken instead of just being able to res, like almost like Gibby's ability to give you 50 HP. So especially because, you know, like I said, you could turn invisible. Mirage turns invisible, it'll probably be a little bit more broken. So kind of had to give them some type of ability to give you HP without making it completely overpowered, right? But it is a great perk to have. Option 2, More Me. Gain an ultimate decoy reduced by 30 seconds. This perk allows your ultimate to be reduced by 30 seconds from the current 1 minute. So this means that your ultimate would only take 30 seconds to recharge each time. So you could practically use your ultimate as a tactical in this case. Now remember that your ultimate spawns multiple decoys that you can control to confuse the enemies. So to have this every 30 seconds is great, I think, in my opinion. I feel like this perk would also help with being able to use your ultimate, and if you want to be more aggressive and rush teams to confuse them faster, would be great to use at a start a fight as well. You know, every 30 seconds, it's basically having a tactical. You know, you could spawn the 5 decoys every 30 seconds. I think it's a pretty good addition to have for Mirage. It definitely could be used, you know, like I said, to be aggressive. Just jump into a fight and just throw your ultimate, and you know, they'll look around and see where you are. So good option to have. All right, let's take a look at level 3 upgrades for Mirage. Option 1, Me Too. Gain a decoy charge. Can have both active at once. This perk allows you to have an extra tactical charge to use. So as it mentioned, you can throw both decoys at the same time, and you can have control of both of them as well. This could be great to throw off your enemy off, you know, with 2 decoys instead, to distract them while you flank them. So for example, you could throw one west, throw one east, you know, they could shoot it, you know, whatever the case is, while you're already going another place, right? So great addition to have, just another tactical in order to confuse, you know, the opponent. Now you do have to remember that each one there's a cooldown of 15 seconds, so having both in 30 seconds would be pretty good as well. You can have 2 decoys in 30 seconds. Is pretty good in my opinion. Again, this could be good to either way. If you want to be aggressive or you want to be sneaky, it doesn't even matter. It's just good to have 2 decoy charges to throw each time, and also it gives you 2 chances to mark players if they shoot the decoys while they're being active as well. Option 2, Bamboozle bonus. Refresh tactical on successful bamboozles. This perk allows you to have your tactical reset when your decoys are hit. So similar to the other resets for, like, example, Revenant and Pathy, you know, this instantly gives you your tactical back when you trick someone. So I think this is also helpful, you know, for those situations when you're in a fight. It could probably be used as an escape almost, maybe. I think you could throw your decoy, you know, maybe throw your ultimate, fight, fight, each hit, you know, because if you throw your decoy and you throw your ultimate, that's 6 decoys, 6 chances to keep throwing your decoy out, right? So each hit will give you your tactical back. So you just gotta kind of have to manage your decoys. So if you throw your ultimate, throw a decoy, get in a fight, they shoot the decoys, you'll have another one, then you'll have another one. You could get a couple more maybe. If you do it right, I think you probably get up to 8 decoys at the same time. Again, it gives you just many more chances, you know. You also mark the players as well, right? It'll mark these players that are shooting and being bamboozled while in fight. I think in my opinion though, this is a great option for Mirage, giving them that support for the team at the same time, giving them a good set of abilities to trick most people with his decoys. That is kind of how Mirage is meant to be played. All right, so for my final verdict for Mirage and choosing the best 2 perks that will be most useful for him in match, I would probably choose Miracle Workle and Bamboozle bonus. Now, of course, I think any legend with the support class range will probably always benefit if they stay in the roles as a support while in match. You know, I know some people like to be aggressive and they just kind of want to push everything, and you know, whatever character they have, you know, some people don't really play in the role space of, you know, of what they're meant to be, and just kind of people just want to push everything, right? So for the most part, right, I'm not saying everyone does it, right, but I think that and you know, that's why I think Miracle Workle is a great option to choose. You know, although I do think again it is a little slow to regen health for my preference, I just think it goes great with Mirage because again, he can turn his teammates invisible as well, giving you that extra chance to get away. You know, I think it's a great combination for him for sure. And for level 3, I guess we can say that the instant reset of your tactical is a kind of the way to go, because just having that instant reset for any legend, honestly, you know, it's probably the best thing you can have. You know, I just don't see having the extra tactical, you know, overriding the instant reset in my opinion. You know, I understand that maybe you could probably use it, but I just think having the bamboozles and being able to get your tactical right away it's always a good option to have. But you know, any Mirage mains out there, let me know in the comments and let me know what you think and which one at level 3, which is the better one. I just think option 2 is probably the best one. Well, there it is, everyone. That is all the details on Mirage and how each perk can benefit you or not while in game. I appreciate everyone that stopped by to check out the video. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe to check out all uploads, shorts, and streams. I will be continuing to the next legend, Loba, in the next episode. Enjoy the rest of your day, and remember, never stop gaming. Amaru out. Peace.